Hello there, and welcome back to Sonic Frontiers, the final horizon. You can just call me Stint. Last time, we managed to regroup with some old friends who we've been missing, should I say, should have been missing in action since 2006 and 2009 respectively, and now we're back playing as Sonic again, being faced with climbing a whole bunch more towers, because clearly that was everybody's favorite part of this game. The climbing up the towers. I've heard a lot of interesting things about these towers from what little that I was exposed to, let's just say, and apparently these are pretty difficult. So I currently have it right here on hard mode, which is sort of my default for going through the entire game. I'm gonna see how I do, and if end up taking too long on them, I'm just going to switch to easy so we can actually just breeze through this. Because I will admit... Oh. Anyways, yeah, I will admit... I did take a little bit too much time with the last part, just wanting to get to know all the characters and how they play, and generally just wanting to have a get a good feel for them. And now I've had a little bit more time to think, I'll just say that honestly that I feel it's a bit of a cop-out to say there's definitely been worse interpretations of these characters, like Amy, for example. She's... Whoa, hello. Hello. What is that projectile speed? Yeah, I may have seen this, that particular projectile attack whilst I was, finding some general clips with regards to this whole mod I shouldn't say mod, this whole DLC update difficulty, and it sort of led me to think how, despite having to unlock all these basic abilities just to basically unlocking all the basic abilities for all the other characters, we didn't get any real major combat abilities for them, aside from that one drill attack for Knuckles. Which is definitely cause for alarm for me, because it says to me that all these souped up bosses we're finding around here, all these guardians, you're not exactly supposed to be fighting them as those characters, which is kind of a letdown in all honesty. What is this? Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I didn't go with extreme of this. Admittedly, I haven't touched extreme mode, and honestly, I think for the sake of this, I'm glad I didn't. Just so we can be sure we actually make some progress. I was also reminded a little bit, thinking more about it, I mentioned briefly that Amy seemed to be going into some sort of identity crisis with her tarot cards, which you seem to be really leaning into with this whole expansion. I realized that was mostly for merch reasons, because of course you can buy those cards. But at the same time, while it's a neat little reintroduction of something involving her character in the past, the way they've sort of over-delivered with it makes Amy, at least in my opinion, feel like an entirely different character from what we're used to from the likes of Adventure 2, Project 06, and the like. I mean, it's at the very least makes more sense than her invisibility from 06. That just smelled to me like They didn't really know what to do with Amy, so they just gave her SBO's invisibility for some reason. The cards make sense, but they've, it really feels like they've taken over her entire character, as it were. As for Tails, I get the whole... I mentioned this previously with regards to his infinite throwing wrenches, which I thought were funny. I don't mind them as such, but I feel as though... Actually, what am I doing? We should be going for the towers. Anyways, I feel as if his blasters from the movie would have been a far better thing to go with if they wanted to give him a projectile. I mean, they've made no secrets about wanting to really adapt things from the movie, given the whole Sonic Power Boost cutscene, which you got hit with constantly in the base game. It's nice that they've allowed you to turn it off, but I wouldn't mind it showing up at least for the first time, because I feel as though seeing it at least once is definitely a cool little thing, and yeah. I think that's the sort of thing people are struggling with the towers, just... I've seen some comparisons between this and Getting Over It, the meme game from a while back, and... Oh. Yeah, with stuff like this I definitely get that. Yeah, like that. Right into the drink. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this, so... If we end up taking a little bit too long, I'm just going to switch to easy so we can get this over with. Hope you don't mind. Because it really does feel like they take the whole criticism that Frontiers was a little bit too easy to heart. I think the main problem, at least from what I could gather, wasn't so much that the game was too easy, more so that there wasn't really as big a notable enough difference between normal and hard modes. Because when I think hard mode, I think like the hard modes from Adventure 2. Where it sort of really puts the skills you learn to the test, and there we go again. You know what? Sorry about this, I know this has been a bit of a sore spot for a lot of people, so... I'm just gonna get on with proceedings, if you don't mind too much. I can't help but feel that there could have been a better alternative to the Spagonia balloons here, and that just sort of reminded me of something. I feel as though a good thing to replace these Spagonia balloons, which don't really make sense with regards to the setting of this whole ancient island here. I would have thought the old item capsules from the adventure game / Heroes would have made a better alternative. They could have put various power-ups in them, like rings and such. So close. There we go. It's like there's still... Just looking at this level design here, it's like the balloons, at the very least, make it a bit more manageable, but still pretty easy with the inherent jank of forces to slip up from time to time, which I feel it just sort of exacerbates the issue that people have with this expansion. See, like that, like that. In fact, at the very least, the balloons give you more chances to recover. That's the main takeaway, he thinks. There we go. Just feels with how sort of stiff the controls are, it's more difficult than it feels like it should be to do the sort of platforming stuff that you want. Oh, there we go. Let's see what you got here. You cute little wispy little Coco, you. Oh, it actually is like an ancient. Hello. I'm guessing this was the pilot of Giganto. Alright, let's see what you got. Okay, Dragon Trial. Defeat all enemies within the time limit. I'm guessing by limited stats it just means I'm at level 1. Not to worry, I have a little bit of experience with this sort of thing. I imagine this is something which I reckon I'm going to be seeing that a lot. I was going to say this is something that I imagine fans of this game wanted to see to some extent, just sort of a Bloody Palace type mode. I mean, we sort of got that with the battle mode, where you get access to extreme. There we go. Admittedly, I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to the Oranus enemies, which I have a feeling we're going to be facing off against a fair bit. I'm just hoping this is the only way, because otherwise I could definitely see what people were saying when they meant that this was going to be nightmarishly hard. I've also noticed this, that ever since the update, it feels like it's a bit more difficult than normal to string together the combos that I want. I should actually probably start fighting now as opposed to just running away. There we go. I'm hoping at the very least I should be able to deliver at least some meaningful commentary, considering this time I actually brought some caffeine with me. So I can probably rely on that just to help get me through all of this, because wow. Oh yeah, I do have the Sonic Boom, don't I? There we go. Yep, just do it on the target which is shielded. That really just feels like an annoyance. There we go, that's what we want to see. Not sure why you're saying excellent when you're here to avenge your fallen Titan brethren. I don't want to say this is sort of the optimal thing to do, but it's certainly more effective than accidentally loop kicking into them constantly. There you go, see? Not sure if this is what they intended, but it's working regardless. I'm gonna restart, because, yeah, I'm probably not gonna make that. I'm just hoping this doesn't take too long. Or I can just do that. That works too. Yeah, it really feels like this is just the optimal thing to do in this situation. Just keep your distance so they don't shield up and just blast away. I suppose whilst we're here, I may as well think about some thoughts that I've had with regards to the combat. Mostly just with regards to how you trigger a lot of these moves. As you might have noticed, it's very easy to hit moves that you didn't intend to. The obvious culprit being the homing shot. With how it constantly procs when you're trying to platform, and I feel as though a good workaround for that would be something more akin to how combos work in Kingdom Hearts, where you have a combo, and at the end you have a finisher. Just say, for instance, the well, there was one more. Okay. Say, for example, the spinning finisher, which you get from Knuckles. That's your main finisher. Oh, that was just the trial. Okay. I'm guessing it's more difficult on hard, but we're just trying to get through this as quick as best we can, so hope you don't mind. Not sure how you garnered all that from me just spamming the same move against the opponents, which is another thing. I definitely feel as though Phantom Rush should have more of a an effect with regards to your just trying to think. Regards to your combo and your finishes, so you have a dedicated set of combos and moves that you can use normally, like your spinning move, your sonic boom, maybe your stomp and your loop kick, and then once you enter Phantom Rush, you get a whole bunch. You get more powerful versions of those finishes and various combos for you to use whilst you try to upkeep your Phantom Rush. Like, instead of the... Hold on, I'm just gonna wait for this to finish and we can actually go into the moves themselves, so I can hopefully give them... Okay, here we go. So, whilst you're in Phantom Rush, something like, say, for example... Cyclone Kick would then become Spin Slash, and Sonic Boom would then be upgraded into Cross Slash, so you actually have a reason to use both. As for Loop Kick, I'm not entirely certain where it would really go in this whole situation, considering Sonic already has a gap closed with his homing attack, and I imagine when it's upgraded to Phantom Rush, it would then turn into, if I can find it, Walled Rush. But it would probably have to be a little bit faster in that case. Okay. Second tower, all the way over there on the other island.
Won't let you down, partner.
Aww.
What are you hanging around for? Afraid to go off without my protection?
Knuckles, where did that come from? Honestly, the tension between Sonic and Knuckles in this game is bizarre. Alright, so it's another one of these ball games. Let's see how difficult... Oh, you actually have to hit them in a circle, and you only have 40 seconds. Okay, at least they're not too difficult to actually hit into the things. You can just do it from ground level. Yeah, this one doesn't seem too bad, and I still feel just that how they've just added all these floating stuff here is just plain weird. Well, that one was actually not too bad compared to some of the other ones of these particular puzzles. Oh, Knuckles is apparently here. Let's go talk to him. You know, if we can actually find him. Hello, Knuckles.
I should be able to climb that thing just fine, but that's not the problem here.
I'll need to go in and out of cyberspace to activate it. Do you want me to help you with finding the emeralds while I take care of the towers?
Just who do you think you're talking to? Leave the emeralds to me.
That was a little bit of a nothing conversation, honestly. Just selling the stuff that we already could have figured out from what we already had established. I guess it's nice to see some chemistry between them, even if it is a little bit strange in this game. Just the tension between... I was just thinking those balloons weren't there before, but I'm guessing that's just an easy mode inclusion. Alright, let's just go for it again. I will just say with regards to just switching to easy mode here, I know some people might not be the most favorable of me for taking up that decision, but at the same time, I'm personally the sort of person who has come to appreciate fun over difficulty, if that makes sense. It's like, look at all these just floating blocks here. I'm guessing the whole narrative little thing is that the whole geometry of the place is becoming unstable due to the end getting out, but at the same time it just feels, again, like something you just threw together in a forge palette. Really? This really does feel like the sort of thing that I see someone cobble together in Halo Reach back in the day, which... Not to worry, I do intend to stream that at some point. But it probably won't be for a while, given everything else that I have to go through. I would probably do them all in canonical order, though, or, I mean, publish order. So I'll probably just end up doing Combat Evolved. Oh, hello, Bomb Cubes! It's been a while. All the way back from Forces, huh? I was wondering when I'd run into you. Yeah, this really just sort of, feels to me like the sort of, mission structure which you'd find in the missions from Origins. Alright, mission 2. Let's see what you got. Oh, tea's gone cold. Okay, I'm guessing this is the Wyvern pilots. Seeing a fair few parallels between our main trio and... okay, Snake's Trail, so this is Wyvern. Okay, Psyloop, our only skill. Okay, it's these clowns. And they're fast... What is that speed? Okay, so I'm just gonna have to get in close and do it then, okay. They don't seem to be attacking once I actually getting close though, so... Guess I'll just use and abuse that. It is fairly interesting though, having all these stuff like you'd expect from something like Olympus Coliseum. I can see this stuff generally being cool, just the execution of it is leaves something to be desired. Putting like the, I can see what people are meaning by those towers just being a nightmare to navigate. Just wow. Especially having to deal with all those bomb cubes. It's just unreal. I'm not certain I'm going to have enough time to actually do this, so... Okay. Just going to have to really rush this one. I don't think I'm going to have enough time, so... At least I know what I'm doing now, so let's get on with proceedings. This one definitely doesn't seem as bad as the last one, though. Just a sort of fun little Blue Mage style mini-game. One thing I have noticed, though, is regards to some of these mini-games, just the time limits seem abnormally strict. It's something that I've definitely noticed going back and playing through the game in base mode. There's that one bridging the gap mission back in Chaos Island. Just the time limit for that is so weirdly strict. I never got why. Unless it was just something I was doing wrong. It's just... this whole game is just filled with these strange, unusual design quirks. I think at the very least we're starting to make better time here. Next. Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not locking on is actually helping. It isn't. Still not sure whether or not I'm gonna make it. No, I'm not. Apologies if this does go on for a little bit of a while, just... again, not exactly the most used to some of the design choices here. I will say, though, with regards to getting all the new Cocos, this... I have a little bit of a grudge against this one, mostly because of that one section of that one Coco on Kronos Island. We have to beat him on that incredibly strict platform. Okay. I think I have a little bit of rhythm down now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Still weirdly strict, though. Yeah, this is starting to feel a little better. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. At least I know what to do. In theory, just... again, just weirdly, specifically strict time limits. Yeah, this is definitely feeling better. Still thankful that they don't just bother to snipe you from a distance, though. That, I fear, would definitely make this completely intolerable. I think I may have messed that one up. Yeah, I messed it up. Apologies, I'm just gonna have to really focus for this. There we go, finally. Sorry about that, just really wanted to concentrate. That is very, very strict. I'm sure there's some sort of strategy you can do to make that easier on yourself, but wow, that's rough. It really does feel as though they saw the criticism that again, people thought that the game was too easy and they took that to heart a little bit too much. Because this is just, wow, rough going. Okay, third tower. Let's see what you got for me this time, because jeez Louise. I'm thinking if there is a suitable amount of content left to this, I may do another stream where we go over the, you know, the cyberspace levels and what the other characters feel and play like once they're fully leveled up, because that is something I would definitely like to see. Especially just to see the Cyclone in action for the first time since 2001. Okay.
Poco helped show us the way. We've gotta reveal those
Okay, it's just all the way over on the other side of the map. I'm working on it. I'm just thinking, with some of the platforming challenges around here, I may have mentioned earlier how it just made me want to play Sonic Heroes. Just a whole bunch of these platforming challenges in general really sort of bring to mind stuff like Egg Fleet. And I'll just say I did love me some Egg Fleet. Just, I know a whole bunch of levels may not seem the best in Heroes, like I know some people might not be the best fan of stuff like Mystic Mansion, but honestly, aside from a little bit of a nitpick I have with the setting for Grand Metropolis as to how exactly it fits into the world at large, as it's a little bit confusing, I'd still say generally I do have quite the fun time with Heroes. I generally just find it fun. Okay. I was just thinking I could actually go up this now. The way it was intended. I keep forgetting I already did that. Okay. 800 damage. Wow, the timing on that is actually kind of strict. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to that another time. Right now we have some towers to do. Even if it pains me to say that. Okay. I wonder what wild and crazy stuff... Okay, so we're doing this, just I do get that some people might not be the most infused with just how easy mode is handled, with it just turning into one big homing attack chain, but if it means we actually get to proceed without it taking absolutely for ages, but I'll take it. This whole setup does definitely seem like it could be fun, though. I think this might be the best tower yet, in all honesty. Even if I still have no idea why there's buzz bombers out here when they were only in cyberspace before. I guess you could say it's a whole thing about dimensions being broke down between worlds, since the end is finally getting out, but still weird all the same. I gotta say, this whole setup kinda reminds me of the elevator section from Power Plants. As you can probably tell, I'm in a little bit of a Sonic Heroes mood at the moment, just... The game in general just felt really, really nice, in hindsight. Even if it may not be the most favorable of games at this point in time. Okay. Guessing this one is Knight's Pilot. Is this the same one we helped out on Chaos Island? Seems like it might be. Okay. Here we go again, more oh, it's these fellas again. Alright. Whoa, there you go. What is that speed they go at? Okay, this one doesn't seem too bad. I'm just sort of taken off guard with how fast these fellas go. It's more just funny than anything. And I thought these guys were pretty funny to begin with, which is how they just run around in circles around you and just wait for you to slap them into submission. Yeah, that one wasn't too bad. Not sure how you managed to gain that out of just me powering a bunch of times. I had some... well, I heard some rumors that this is more in line of how they originally wanted to finish the game, at least in terms of story. We're just the gang finally coming back and being able to help out, which seemed like it was the initial idea at the very least. It kind of feels like here they tried to do the best of both worlds, even if at times it can be a bit abrupt. I think we can skip this. I think it's the same cutscene. Apologies if I skipped anything important.
For the cocoa. For all of us. Is this cloaking technology how the enemy robots appear too?
Cloaking technology? Fascinating. I'm guessing this is supposed to be another ghost arena, but honestly I dread having the prospect of finding a ghost on here, considering how nightmarish they could be originally. You know what? Since we're here, let's actually no, I'm gonna try the cyberspace stage another time. I'm guessing there's still a requirement for them, but it's just not the most clear. Considering you can just... I'm guessing you're supposed to use them to unlock the cocos, which you use to unlock the towers, but there doesn't really seem to be much of an impetus to me to do so, since I already got a whole bunch. And wow, this whole board the platform section is long. I'm guessing it's easier with Tails or Amy, but for now, more towers, hooray! Okay, so we're doing fans this time. Let's see how wild and crazy this gets. As I will say, a lot of this does, at the very least, remind me a little bit of the Lost Cocoa challenges. A lot of them, especially on the later islands, were quite fun. It's just the ones on Cocoa Island, sorry, Kronos Island, really sort of set a bad precedent for them. As I feel, for the most part, they were some of the weaker ones. Especially that one in the tower, that was just... It didn't really feel like it was designed properly, at least with for the jump deceleration, which... Then again, I don't think most of the game was, so that might just be on me for using and abusing that. Okay, so I think we actually have to go over here and press all these buttons. This actually seems like a pretty interesting little setup here. I just feel if it wasn't completely stiff and unnatural, it might actually be a fun little challenge. It's just some of the inherent stiffness of Frontiers holds this whole thing back a little. Which seems to generally be the reception here. It's just... it's cool and all, but I don't think the game's really built around this sort of super uber precise platforming, which... I've had some thoughts about it with regards to how this gameplay flows. I'm more of the thought that I'm never actually gonna get my preferred thing, which would be basically a adventure, something more akin to the adventure games of Heroes. Alright, what's your deal?
Guess there's a surprise fourth Titan after all.
Haha.
In the vision I saw, you lost to the enemy when you sealed it in your Titan. How are you here?
It might actually be. I can tell what you're thinking as in terms of me. No, I'm not going to do it. Let's see. Enemies will be greatly enhanced. Alright, what am I... oh, it's Master Ninja. Oh, it's just regular ninja. Okay. Is it? Okay, and he moves pretty fast as well. That's good to know. Let me just... whack you a couple of times. Yeah, I think just doing this seems to be the optimal route to go. Next. Well, that was... that was it? I'm guessing that's just an easy mode thing, but... wow. 10 minutes for that, and yet the time limit for the one previously was minuscule. I'm probably going to switch back to hard once we actually clear all the towers, though. I'm guessing... if this was hard mode, that would be a Master Ninja. Could be wrong. Still not entirely certain how these whole ancient things work, but okay. And the last one. Oh.
It worked. I feel like my old self again.
Excellent. Now we must go to the one who can forge that energy into a new power.
Okay, so Sonic's fine now. That's good. Well, we better hurry though, because
No time to lose.
that. As he looks gallantly up at the sky.
That thing in the sky. It's corrupting everything on the island. Even the cocoa.
I won't stand for it.
Well, what are you gonna do? Are you corporeal or not?
Focus. Knuckles needs to weaken that thing's hold on the emeralds, and Tails needs to break them free. I'll handle the cocoa. I have a feeling they'll be crucial to the plan.
Okay, so we're moving back to the other characters then. Okay.
You will not harm this world. I won't allow it.
Really feels like she's giving it her all with this with the voicing role. I've had a lot of thoughts with regards to this particular. Okay, so we are just playing as Amy now. Okay, let's swap back to hard for the time being. Apply. Hopefully I won't regret this.
It's alright. It'll be alright. I'm going to take you somewhere safe. This way, little ones.
Alright, I think that's more than enough to make me regret my decision to immediately switch to hard mode. Okay. Elder Coco's over there, so I'm just gonna see what this, okay, I never look how Coco. Sort of makes me wonder what the point of the cyberspace levels are then. And another one. But yeah, like I said, whilst the movement in general is pretty fun, like being able to team the speed of the spin dash with the tower glide really feels quite satisfying. Like, look how much distance you can get with that. It's like what you'd expect Knuckles' glide to be, except it's supposed to be like a peach float. This is like the fact that her basic combo is these cards instead of her hammer really sort of says a lot, honestly.
We're running out of time. Knuckles needs to hurry.
Okay, I guess that's all I needed to do. Alright, let's go back to Hermit Coco, who looks to be in a different part of the island again. I wonder if... No, I don't think we can actually make that distance, but... The fact that you can just do this as Amy, it's like... I thought the spin dash already was busted with how much distance you can get from it, but this is just wow. Look how far I can go. Okay, looks to be just in this area, which seems to be unlocked from last time. I figured out how you're supposed to get in there by just matching up the musical notes. It's kind of stupid of me not to get it the first time, but I got it eventually and got access to this neat little place. It's like there's a Hermit Coco over here, isn't he good enough? Alright, let's see how much stronger I get. Only level 70. Huh. And... yeah, I think we're good. Looks as though we should be heading over this way next. Or are we? It looks like we're being led in this direction with more bomb cubes. Hooray! Everybody's favorite addition from Forces. Look how many of these things there are. Jeez Louise. And it was all for an optional thing over here, which... I mean, I'll take. Can we actually unlock stuff now? Oh, we actually can get her, her fun parry. Still no idea why she gets poisoned, but that's for me to learn. Okay, just trying to figure out where you're supposed to be, Hermit Coco. I'm on my way. Alley-oop. Honestly, with how these levels are structured out with the skills I have, I'm not entirely certain as to what I'm doing is the right way to go about it, or if I'm just using and abusing the mechanics. Also doesn't help that it's still quite stiff. And generally not all that easy to correct any mistakes. It's just... like going back to Adventure 2, it felt like saving yourself from mistakes you did. Was a lot easier. I didn't ask you to stomp. It's like I feel like I wouldn't mind her keeping the Tarot Glide. It is inferior cool ability. This is more so just imagining this teamed with something like Amy's hammer jump. I can imagine that just being a whole lot of fun to just mess about with. As of right now, however, it just feels like it's missing something. Okay, so you can actually abuse that, okay. Aww. Sorry, Hermit.
Thanks for handling things, Amy. I'll take it from here.
Alright, let's go and find another Chaos Emerald in that case. Shouldn't be too difficult to find. This still feels a lot of fun to do, though. Even if it is a little bit of a shame she can't get any boost upgrades like Sonic can. At the very least, she can maintain that speed a fair bit easier with this glide. Just look at her go. Okay, there's that darn fourth Chaos Emerald.
This is what Sonic was suffering from. Handling the cocoa is affecting me the same way.
Oh no, what are we going to do? He's like, oh no, I'm dying. Oh, anyway. Alright, it's time to mess about a little bit more with Knuckles. Oh, actually doing nope.
Focus. We aren't done yet.
Still love the older brother, younger brother relationship these two have. It's just Tails, we've gone over this.
For hell. Heck, even Sonic asked us to pick up his slack this time. What do you need me to do?
I think our opponent has repurposed the constructs to bolster the distortion's defensive measures. In other words, keep smashing things, and I can start accessing cyberspace again.
I like the direct approach. You can count on me.
I will admit, it definitely, the characterization, it may just be me going through this for the first time, but it definitely feels like at least somewhat of an improvement compared to the base game with how these characters act, but it may just be that they're interacting with characters that aren't Sonic. Anyways, let's get some more experience, because I feel that Knuckles could desperately use it. Can we actually get anything interesting? No. That's a shame. Oh, we can actually go over here and interact with Sonic a little bit. That could be fun. Only question is, where exactly is this? Okay, it's in the rough neighborhood. Again, I'm just thinking about with regards to how these characters perform. It feels like there's stuff which could definitely be hotfixed, like these transition animations, for instance. They make everything just feel a lot more sluggish than they need be. And Knuckles' turning speed here is just... So, it feels like it could just be more of an instant fix. I know it probably won't be as good as, for example, how smooth it might be in Adventure 2 and even Adventure 1. But as is, the gliding here still feels worse than Vanilla 06, which is kind of damning when you think about it. Which is a shame too, because I feel like given this whole game's emphasis on combat, that Knuckles should, in theory, be one of the best characters. But instead he's widely regarded to be the worst of the bunch, which is tragic. Anyways, we get more stuff here. Can we actually afford anything? No. I'll probably end up just going for the spin dash again, because honestly, at the very least, there'll be something to make Knuckles' gameplay fun. Even if it is kind of weird that they can get access to the spin dash a lot easier than Sonic can. Also, yeah, that's that classic gliding in action. It also kind of reminds me that, as far as I'm aware, there is technically, from what I've heard at least, another Knuckles jumping glitch in this game, which really is sort of the pièce de résistance, the cherry on top of this cake, which in theory should have been a lot better than it actually was. I'm probably not going to abuse it too much here though, because again, I kind of want to focus on progression. We'll focus on other content once we're done here though. Once we're actually finished with the bulk of the stuff. That is... oh no. Okay. Everything's gonna be good forever. No, it isn't. Yeah, I definitely feel as though if this were Adventure 2, this would just be a whole lot smoother to do, mostly because of just how easy your gliding is. Just look at this, it just takes like a million years just to try and course correct. Okay, I think we're... nope, no, ah. We were so close as well. Okay. There we go. Really is a shame too, because again with the combat,
Focus on helping Tails.
it's just a little bit of a disappointment that Knuckles' climbing abilities are just limited to select walls like it is in Boom. It just feels like this real sort of damning thing, in all honesty. Anyways, I think... no, I don't think that is it. Is it really just to get a whole bunch of rings here? Anyways, let's just proceed. And try to get more stuff like this along the way. That'll be nice. Okay, so we can still not afford anything. Great. It's so weird that Knuckles gets so much less experience for one of those than Amy. Still not going to try my luck against that spider, given how little combat stuff I actually have, which really feels confusing for Knuckles, in all honesty. It's just, you'd think he'd have a whole bunch of cool combat abilities, but apparently not. It's just so weird. Like comparing their skill trees to Sonic's, he still has all his base moves, it just gets a whole bunch of cool combat stuff to do in the meantime for all his upgrades, aside from stuff like, say for instance, his new stuff like the Phantom Rush and the Psyloop. Aside from that, he basically has all his kit right out of the box, but here it's just so strange that you have to unlock absolutely everything. Like, I get that if you had to unlock some of the more advanced stuff, but basic stuff like jumping is considered a skill. It would be one thing if you actually unlocked a character who couldn't jump, had a whole bunch of skills tied to that, but as is, it's just so bizarre. Anyways, I think our Coco in question is over there somewhere. Can we get the spin dash from this? No. Oh yes, we can actually. Great. That's another thing that just feels weird. Knuckles actually having the spin dash back for the first time since... technically the first time ever in a 3D game, aside from potential mods if you really want to count those. It's like the last time we've seen anything akin to this is rolling back in Adventure 1, which Tails also got. Just a sort of nice little thing for all the classic stuff. I'm not entirely certain whether or not all the classic characters should have a spin dash in 3D though. I mean, I get it, it makes sense. It was part of their kit back in the classic games, so it makes sense that they should have access to all their classic kits. But at the same time, after all this time, it really feels like a Sonic-specific thing. I say that, and there's also Shadow, so I guess there's also that. Alright, where are we this time? What labyrinthian nightmare have you secluded me to this time, game? I think, since Coco's just over there, I'm just gonna glide over there if you don't mind me. Yeah, I don't mind me just skipping a whole bunch of that potential challenge, but I have places to go. And he still looks so happy despite being destroyed. I don't really get it. Alright, more Chaos Emeralds.
Keep doing your thing. It's working. Just a few more and I can hack my way in.
Right, I think first and foremost I'm going to see how Sonic is doing. What exactly am I looking at here? Just Chaos Emerald just floating up in outer space. Yeah, I'm guessing that you're supposed to use a whole bunch of this stuff to get up to it, but I want to speak to Sonic first, since the game pointed out he's just hanging about. Still don't really get why you were secluded from going into this area in the first place. It's not like there's anything here, per se. I get that they might want to keep it empty for the Supreme fight, but it seems like with this tower here, they don't really have any reservations of doing that anymore. I suppose I may as well talk a little bit about Orinus Island itself, even though it's basically just a bit of Kronos which cut off because it seemed too big and too boring. Honestly, if it was a little bit more distinct from Kronos and Rhea, I would say I quite like it in all honesty. It's just got a nice sort of ambiance to it. Alright. So Sonic's over there somewhere. Let's go chat to him again. See what pearls of wisdom he has for me this time. Hey Sonic, what's up?
How's it going, treasure hunter?
Oh, you remembered you're a treasure hunter.
Expect to find you standing around wasting time.
I was starting to get worried you wouldn't be able to find the emeralds.
And you are wasting time if you're worrying about me.
Okay. Ah, so that's how you access that part of the level. I get you now, game. I've come to understand you a little bit more. Guessing you're supposed to be using the spin dash to get up there, so... I'm gonna try this a little bit before... Okay, there we go. I want to say I wanted to go around this because it looks a little bit fun. And it is. This, I saw this at the start of my time with this and thought, ooh, I definitely want to try that out, and... yeah, this seems to be Amy specific, which is a shame, so... Fish! Fish! Okay, so there's apparently fish here. I'll have to come back to this later as Amy, but... it's like seeing tracks like that. My brain just instantly went when I first saw it, wow, I want to have a go on that. And now I did, and it was worth it. Anyways. Back to the plot, or what there is of it. It's like, in the trailers, they showed it being a lot more autumnal, yet... I feel, at the very least, that they did make it more autumnal, it might have made this whole part of the map a lot more distinct. Then again, from what I recall of some of the unused lines from the base game, there was initially talk about there only being 3 islands, which was in the Eggman logs. Meaning they initially planned for 3 islands and likely for one reason or another had to extend it to more than 3. Oh, so the glide actually does retain speed. Look at me go now. Yeah, this does make it slightly more fun, even if it is... Is that why the steering on it is so bad? Because it's making up for the fact that you can glide at insane speeds. That might just be the case. Even though for the most part you're likely going to be using it at low speed, so it sort of makes the whole point moot. Even if this is somewhat automated, I will say, once again, I would prefer if this was, generally I like to see this in a more unique level setting that isn't just a whole bunch of forge palettes. Because I could definitely see a lot of the level design ideas here being quite fun to go through. Anyways, here we go. 5th Chaos Emerald time. I'm guessing Sonic is going to have to go after the 7th. Oh no, he's coming over with the Stinky. Come on, Knuckles.
Oh no you don't. Sonic handled 4 islands of this mess. I'm not going down to just 1.
That's the spirit.
You hear that? This isn't over until I win.
Then get up. Why are you lying down? Okay, there you go. Tails time. And we get to see a little bit more of Tails in action, which honestly... Also, I've had a lot of fun with Amy. I think Tails is definitely the best of the bunch. Yeah, I can definitely... It's definitely quite the mixed ordeal. There's some people who like it, some people who don't. I'm not gonna... I'm gonna try and save all my reservations about it till the very end, but... generally, I feel if the characters had a little bit more of the jank sorted out, a lot of the animation delay sorted and removed, I feel as though this has the potential to be a lot better. See, even Tails gets more experience than Knuckles. What's up with that? Anyways, yeah, I think whilst we're going on this little adventure, I'm probably going to prioritize the Cyclone, because at the very least I gotta see the Cyclone. It's the first time I've seen it since 2005 in a game. And the last time we saw it, it was just died unceremoniously in the infamous 4th Chaos Emerald cutscene. I'm gonna say though, I do still quite enjoy the flying here. Okay, so it's different. It's different things. Let me rephrase. Different Cocos which provide different amounts of experience. Good. So it's not just that I'm going mad. I imagine I'm supposed to go over here first. I do like that he does the little animation here thing here from Advance Free at the very least, but at the same time, I would prefer it if we just... I think most people would just prefer if you actually went into the flight right away. Still think the speed that he can just throw out all these wrenches is ludicrous. But yeah, I think so far, at the very least, I can see, given how much of a letdown this kind of is, I can see why people would be inclined to sort of disavow Frontiers, which is kind of sad, really, because with all the quality of life updates, I feel as though we've come quite far, in all honesty. I don't want to just sit here and, you know, be that guy who just defends it religiously. Just... I want this game to be the best it can be, and at its current point, it isn't. It's as simple as. Just one off from the Cyclone. We can make it. Oh, speaking of which... Let me see you, you big blue beauty. Okay, okay. Whoa, look at him go. Oh yeah, I was thinking that in all honesty. It does remind me of Mario Sunshine. It's... And we all know how well received that game was. Just... It's one of those games that I really look to and just think to myself that Mario isn't perfect. I know that's kind of a bitter perspective to have, but at the same time... Oh. Okay, Cyclone's just gone now. Bye-bye. Okay, so we need to go up there. This does still feel pretty fun to use, though. It's just... I'm thinking back to the better Tails, or at least one of the... At least one of the Tails mods from Adventure 2, and how you'd be able to swap between Tails normally and Tails using the Cyclone. That's sort of what I expected here, but instead it's just... Here's an excuse for you to just fly around at high speeds, which... Well, it's fun to do. I can see why it's... Well, it's cool to see. It's a little bit of a disappointment, in all honesty. It's kind of a shame, really. Which is annoying, because, again, we haven't seen the Cyclone in a game since 2005. It should be this big moment. Alright, let me just recharge rings. Oh, it actually spills out rings. There we go, back to full. Finally got it. Oh, and it's a time thing as well. Oh. That's not what I want to see. Nor is that. Seems like it. Admittedly, I have the volume down a little so you don't pick it up on the stream, so it's kind of difficult for me to tell. But it is just one of those things which is still a bit of a shame, really. Seems at the very least you can still technically chain power boost and flight together at the same time, which is kind of a cool little quirk. Can I make it? Yes, I can. Let's just skip this, and emerald time. Let's roll out. I was just thinking as well, when it was first revealed, it even has like all the power-ups on it. Like, it still has the bazooka, it still has the jet booster, it still has the laser blaster. Why am I going this way? It's like it's basically come straight out of Adventure 2, even with how blocky the design is, which... Again, I just really love how it looks. Just the blue blocky boy is back. It's just a shame you can't really do more with it.
Every time I interact with cyberspace, I'm getting more corrupted. This is what Sonic was dealing with this whole time. I knew he was sick, but I never realized it was like this.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Be at his side. Then I need to keep at his pace. I won't let this stop me.
I don't expect you to, but alright, that's Chaos Emerald number 6, meaning there's only one more to go.
You never stood a chance against Sonic. Now you're up against all 4 of us. You should have quit while you were behind.
Haha. You mean the end doesn't have a retort for that? That's a shame. Alright, just one more, it seems. I'm guessing that's gonna be what we pick up with Sonic right after this last tower. That's definitely fair. It is technically optional content, as you can basically just go through and play the whole game without touching it. Still do definitely hope we get a fix for it though. Alright, last tower. I've heard some interesting things with regards to the trial of this tower, which... well, we'll see how we do once we actually get there. Yeah, we can just skip this, and once again, if it's anything like the other 4 towers, then I am justified in doing that.
Go, Tails, go! You can do it!
I'll see this through.
Wait, didn't I already go up this tower?
Almost too easy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Oh wait, I'm still at this tower instead of the tower I'm supposed to be going to, silly me. Yeah, this, apparently they took to heart about people saying that this game was too easy. So they decided to go seemingly the opposite extreme. Especially with this with the trials. Just a couple of them were pretty fun, like the last one I did with the enemies just running around you at insane speeds. That was kind of funny. But as is now, it really does remind me of that one game, Only Up, where you're just 3D platforming across a whole bunch of random things. It's that sort of level design, which I feel a lot of this would be a lot more interesting if it was actually had a level theme as opposed to just being forged blocks once again. It's just the whole thing just feels messy. And the easy mode, of course, is just turning the whole thing into a homing attack chain, just like Rear Islands. Just... I don't really get it. Most people's least favorite part of the whole game was the Rear Island towers, and they just decided to do them again. I guess at the very least I can be thankful in the fact that it's all so far 3D. That's nice at the very least, but... Okay. Game, where do you want me to go? Where am I going, game? Okay, over here. I got worried for a second there. Like setups like this, with the cannons coming at you, that just reminds me so much of Egg Fleet. In fact, a lot of the level design from the grind rails and such, just platforming over long falls, this seems so much to me like Egg Fleet. And it just makes me wish I was playing Sonic Heroes. You might have some reservations about that game, but I had a lot of fun with it. I still have a lot of fun with it, in fact. Just thinking back to that game, just how smooth everything was to control. You didn't have any issues pulling off any of the moves. It was just crazy compared to this. Alright, last trial. With this weird looking bird Coco. Alright, let's see what this is all about. With his big bushy beard. I don't know, our language didn't really seem all that limited, inconsistent more like.
Anyway, Sage says you're the one who can turn the cyber corruption into new power. Is that right?
I like how he's all in shadow and mysterious, except we clearly know he's just a random ancient who we don't really have any context as to what his actual character is. I'm guessing he's supposed to be like the big super elder who led all the ancients here in the past.
Now you're a rock in a chair. Yeah, and I'm short on time, so if you want me to save your legacy, you're gonna have to fast-track this new power process.
And I'm not entirely certain whether or not he's referring to the Titan pilots or Silver, because it's heavily implied that he went back in time to the time of the Ancients for some reason, which just throws a whole bunch of... It's basically yet another Pandora's box opening. Okay, perfect parry. Rings will be unavailable. Alright, let's try this perfect parry. Do I actually have a time limit? Okay, no time limit. Let's... Alright, I guess we'll just have to see how this goes. I remember hearing a lot of people saying how insanely hard this was, but... Well, I guess I'll just have to be the judge of that. I guess since the main challenge comes is preserving your rings up until the last fight, which I'm guessing... At least I'm hoping there's only 3 Titans, just Giganto, Wyvern, and Knight. It wouldn't really make sense to fight Supreme here. Alright, let's see how we do. Not required on easy mode. Well. And I'm certainly glad that I decided to just truncate this, because... Wowzers bowsers. Alright, here we go. Still think this whole fight is as metal as heck. Apparently it is, or in case the parry window for easy mode is just a lot more lenient. Yeah, I think it is just a lot more lenient. Alright. I didn't mean to... I meant to do Grand Slam, but okay, I'll just do this, I guess. I can imagine this on hard mode is just going to be nightmarish if perfect parry means what I think it means, which is just frame perfect. Which, honestly, I don't really mind in concept, like looking back at how all the other characters' parries with applied debuffs. I feel that could be an interesting way to go for rewarding perfect parrying, but not entirely discouraging. Considering how simplistic this game is trying to be, I can mostly just imagine this mostly behaving similar to something like Devil May Cry's Royal Guard, where you can use the parry system as is, but you're more rewarded for doing better perfect parries. It's more so just as an incentive rather than a requirement, if you get what I mean. I'm mostly just hoping that I have enough rings to actually get through this, in all honesty. Because I've heard a lot of nightmares with regards to Wyvern in particular. Just frame perfect parries in a fight where parrying is sort of required. I can imagine that's definitely going to be quite nightmarish for people to go through, but... As of right now, I'm just here to have fun rather than prove that I'm some super, ultra, omega, super gamer who can just easily do this stuff. I'd rather do stuff which is easy but fun rather than hard and just a miserable experience. Can I actually come down so I can actually hit you, please? Thank you. It's like when I was saying that I wanted to say, I've been saying all throughout the various updates, I really want just a way to easily access all the Titan fights right off the bat. We sort of got that with the Battle Rush mode, but not quite. It would have been better if you, after completing them, you could actually select which fight you go through, sort of like Olympus Coliseum. But I don't think this is quite what people had in mind when they wanted to replay all the bosses again. But it may just be me in the fact that I've gone through this game so many times, I've fought these bosses so many times that I think I've had my fair share for a little bit, if you get what I mean. Alright, Wyvern, I'm right here. Ready when you are. I'd still say sort of this sort of master hardcore mode notwithstanding, just in the base game, I still think that Wyvern is one of my favorite fights, and I guess mostly from a spectacle standpoint, just the fact that you're flying all around the island really just adds this whole sense of scale to the fight, which you don't really get with any of the others. It's just, especially the fact that you could just casually throw him into a mountain. That's like the sort of stuff that I would have loved to see in, like, back in the, like, Newgrounds era. All the way back in, like, the late 2000s. But I can't help but feel that with this whole parry requirement for this Master Challenge, that honestly may be a little bit ruined for some people, which is a shame, because these fights are super cool, and the fact that you have this challenge here to sort of suck a lot of the fun and the wow factor out of them, it's just, it's kind of sad to see, in all honesty. Also, I kind of miss having the ability of, I miss having more boost gauges. I'll just say it like that. Alright, here we go. Wyvern time. I played this fight a fair bit, so I kind of know how it goes. I'm definitely gonna miss the rings you can get throughout this fight, though. Okay, so it's kind of like some mods that I've seen where the parry comes out, but it's not perpetual. I feel it, a parry like this actually kind of sets up a nice little balance, in all honesty. It's generally just a good balance between forgiving but still involved. Cut it close. If you're talking about Knight, then most likely, but right now I've just basically got him down to half health. So I feel as though my chances are decent. If not, then, well, I know what to do the next time around. Still think these boss themes are just fantastic, though. Look at me go. I forgot to press the parry, that's on me. There we go, that's how you do it. Yeah, I can definitely see why people would come to hate this fight with the parrying requirements. There we go, though. We should be good, for at least for now. I can't believe I actually managed to get that. Wow. And we actually get to see the awesome Grand Slam. This is my favorite one in the whole game. You actually just yeets his enemy straight into a mountain. It's great. Also, yeah, probably gonna struggle when it comes to Knight with my current ring count, because yeah. I've played this fight a little bit more in advance for this stream, so... somehow I got that down as well. Alright, at least we get a little bit of a break from proceedings where we play football. Football! I still find that fun to do, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, still somehow got that. But yeah, I can definitely see... yeah, I'm definitely going to be cutting close. Oh no, I think the fight's over. Nope. Only just. Wasted a little bit too much time with Giganto, I think. I just call him Giganto now, it's funny. I like how Master King Coco is just sort of still floating there at normal speed despite everything being slowed down. Alright, so that's the Wyvern portion over for the most part. I can only hope that I still have enough to deal with Knight. Because, yeah, I definitely imagine I'm going to be cutting it close, especially with those saucer sections. Still think this stuff is real cool, though. Open wide! Still really cool. Alright, nighttime. And he just immediately goes off just like that. I feel as though it's a little bit bugged. How he just he doesn't move for a bit and then just instantly starts moving. Yeah, I definitely don't want to lose any rings to that. I feel like I could just end this challenge right there and then, and... why did I just suddenly clip through the rails? Come on, up we get. Up we go. No, no. That's not what I wanted you to do. Alright, nighttime. Get over here. Yeah, this is what I'm mostly worried about with regards to this fight. Just not having enough time to actually get through the fight because I keep getting buffeted by his missiles. It's like this fight is still super cool, but there's just stuff about it which is irritating. Like right there, like that, see? That time wasn't too bad, but every second's gonna count here, methinks. Nice, got that. I think I missed my opportunity to do Grand Slam, which is a shame. It would be amazing if I actually managed to get this on the first try, but now that I've said that, I'm definitely not going to. Especially given, I think, yeah, he's winding up to bat. Like that, see? And I just have all these missiles buffeting me about. I only have so many rings, man. Alright, I think we're down to half though, so... There we go. I actually managed to get the Grand Slam down. Imagine if I actually did manage to do this though, that would be crazy. Alright, we're down to his second phase. Still think this fight music actually really just rocks. It's like I have every single one of these battle themes on a playlist. Like, I love them that much. Alright, where'd you put your shield this time, Knight? I don't think I'm gonna... Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hit that. Here's the other main issue. Actually hitting him. It's like he actually saw that one coming. What's up with him? Can I hit this one? Yes. Alright, in we go. In with his spears. There we go, we actually got it, wow. With like more than 50 rings to spare, I think. I just have to not mess up the QTE. Alright, here goes. Rules of nature! And we're good. Unless we actually do have to fight Supreme after this, in which case I'm doomed. Still think this scene is one of the coolest sections in this entire series. Just, I know it's fan servicey and, you know, Final Fantasy Sonic X-ish, but honestly I'm all for that. Generally, this stuff is really cool, and Sonic is supposed to be the guy who's supposed to be cool, so I think it fits. Just, I'm not entirely certain how they're going to be able to top this, but I definitely want to see this series go more anime. Just go full on anime with its spectacle. Anyways, I think that's the worst of it out of the way. Now all that's left is Last Chaos Emerald and Supreme, and the end.
I can feel it. Oh, I can't wait to let loose.
Okay, so that's how it's gonna be. He only has this supposed Supersonic 2 form for this game.
I'm not used to holding back.
So I guess we can garner from this that Supersonic 2 is just a unique power for this game, which
Oh yeah.
I was of the thought that we could do with a few more of those, just sort of more game-specific forms, which can come back from time to time. Mainly it's just considering how seemingly powerful Supersonic in general actually is. Just to the point where I feel as though we don't really need a Hypersonic, mostly just because of how, because power creep. Hopefully I won't have to worry about any restrictions going into this last fight, so... Oh! Okay, so here's where you could, in theory, swap out and actually go for the island fully. This is like your super final fight part. But I think, given the time, we'll just, proceed. Are you sure you're ready for the final battle? Yes. This is either going to be really cool or really disappointing. Suddenly it turned to night again.
Nice of you to catch up.
Were you successful?
Apparently.
Naturally.
Didn't really feel like I was successful, but...
Unfortunately, your friends aren't handling their cyber corruption nearly as well.
You could have told me this earlier. Or does Eggman just have the last Chaos Emerald again? Okay, so that's how it's going to be. Eggman still gives you the last Emerald.
What does that make me? Hmm?
There it is.
Late. But hey, you tried.
Alright. Not entirely certain whether or not those trees are supposed to be low reds. I can... It's like this all still has the potential to be this really fun adventure thing, but the jank sort of lets it down somewhat. Seems to be going in regular Supersonic 1 for the time being. And it just looks to be regular Supreme. Alright. Well, we could just knock this out real quick. Sage's groans or Amy's groans? Because admittedly I have volume down a little bit. Anyways, let's see how well I can, in theory, mess this up. Because I figured out the boss's actual mechanics this time, wow. You're supposed to hit his little satellite things first before you go in for the kill. And yeah, it kind of shows that I'm max level, because wow, his health is down immediately. I suppose I may as well take this time to think about my thoughts on the old final boss. It was certainly a letdown just doing the hacking minigame for it again, but I feel at the very least it could have had its place. Like, what I had to sort of imagine for a quote fixed boss fight is something more akin to Perfect Dark Gaia, where you go through the different phases of the hacking minigame, and in between them you actually fight the end of Supersonic with the help of one of the Titans. Like, you could have Giganto piloted by Amy, Wyvern piloted by Knuckles, and Knight piloted by Tails. You know, just sort of to reaffirm the whole, all the growth they've gone through throughout the game, and just coming together to help Sonic end this fight one last time. That sort of things felt like a general cool thing to me, but it may just be me. Anyways, I think I'm about ready to wrap up this fight. Hopefully I didn't lose too many rings this time. Yeah, this still feels a little... The way this boss went down always felt a little bit anticlimactic to me, even though the music is definitely good. And it just goes down again. Is that it? Alright, new stuff now. He's going into his second phase. Bringing down the whole moon on top of him. And he actually plugs it in. I mean, you could have used Sonic for that from the start. But okay, guess we're not doing the shooting minigame this time. Oh look at it, he's actually trying to fight back. Oh, there's the multi-arms that we saw in the trailer. As we fight Supreme again. Or the end. The trials are completed, the final Titan has appeared. Gee, thanks for that, game. I'm actually doing an orchestral version of I'm Here. And he's here shooting out the... Are those like the eyes of, I'm trying to think of the word, from Terraria. Oh, here we go. Supersonic 2 time. There's the blue eyes. Well, it really is like Supersonic 2. Parry is power, let's become perfect power, which can reflect any attack. Okay, so there's the parry. It looks so cool when he does it as well. Ah, so close. And what, he heals after that? Wow. Okay, at the very least his health seems to be going down a little bit. Whoa. Okay, he's healing himself. I think I know how he's supposed to do this from what I've been led to believe, but... Oh, he's actually struggling a little bit. I will say this is definitely cool though, at the very least, even if it is a little jank. Can I focus on the... There we go. I think you're supposed to... Do you mind? From what I can tell, you're supposed to do something like... Do you mind, game? You're not helping things here, I'm sure. It's just I remember there was a trick here, it's that cord on top of his head. It's just, I'm trying to actually do something about it. There we go. Or not. Game, would you please allow me to just loop the cord on his head? Game, please. Yeah, it's, I get what I'm supposed to do, it's just, not all that easy to actually do it. Because what you're supposed to do is, I think, try to side-loop the thing around his head so it stops healing him, but... yeah, it's not exactly the easiest thing to actually do. Especially when this happens. Oh, you can actually parry that. Wow. Can actually... yes! No. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up just dying to this. Yeah, and he's just healing through all my damage. Oh, hold on. All of his health basically just went, and now it's all healing back up again. Game, why are you like this? I just... I didn't want to say it, but I kind of prefer the, I kind of prefer the original boss, in all honesty. I think that mostly just comes down to the, timing window on the perfect parry, which... I think if it's gonna be like this, then I'm just gonna switch it to easy, just so we can actually, proceed. It really is a shame too, because this whole thing looks... the presentation behind it is cool, the actual gameplay portion of it is not. And yeah, oh! Is he actually draining my rings? Yeah, yeah, is there a way to sever the connection? You tell me. Yeah, let's try again. I'll see, and in the meantime, I'll see what the actual threat is supposed to be. How are you supposed to do this? Because honestly...
Hey, nice of you to catch up.
Were you successful?
Naturally.
Good. Unfortunately, your friends aren't handling their cyber corruption nearly as well.
Canon end. Alright, let me just see what you're supposed to do.
Oh, you guys are the best.
What does that make me?
As I sit through ads once again.
But hey, you tried.
We're out of time. I command you to save us.
Okay. So it turns out I was just hitting him in the wrong place. Apparently. Let's go again. Just instantly go to the second phase. It really just feels like an insane jump going from this to the new final boss. I'm just hoping that once I actually get around to figuring out what I'm supposed to do, that it will actually work. And we can actually have a good time here, because as is, yeah, I'm of the sentiment that this whole thing, while it had the potential to be really quite cool, it's let down by Lejank for me. It's such a shame, really. As I'd personally rather that this series, or more specifically this game, didn't go out on such a sour note, but maybe we'll get a patch to help smooth things over to make it a bit more palatable, but yeah, as is, it's not exactly the big fix that I was hoping for, let's just say that. Can I actually hit you now? Alright, no, fine. Alright, can I hit you now this time, please? Okay, I'm directly inside him now, so... Alright. Boss time. Oh, wait, every time you get hit by those, it does drain your rings. Oh, that's mean. Alright, let's go again. It does look pretty cool, though. It keeps sending those out constantly, which really doesn't help matters. I feel this would be a lot more palatable if that perfect parry had a little bit more of a lenient window on it. Yeah, it definitely looks like there's something else I can target on there. I'd like to be able to target that though, please. Yeah, the problem is Psy-looping as Supersonic doesn't really work. Okay. I didn't see anything to actually hit his finger, which I'm thinking is what you're supposed to do. Hold on, let me just check this again. I feel as though I'm just missing something here. Yeah, there's apparently some way you're supposed to target the cord on his head, but it's just... it's not letting me. Can I please target the cord, please? Yeah, this is... it's just a shame, like, because I can see what they're going for, but it's just not working. It's like there's supposed to be a way you're supposed to be able to hit the cord on his neck here, but it's not letting me. It is making me go for his head again. I feel this would definitely be a lot more palatable were it not for your rings constantly being stripped from you. Oh yeah, it's just such a disappointment. Are you supposed to still do damage to him before it reveals itself? That might be it. Nope. Still just gonna die again. You know what? I'm not gonna quit since we're right at the end, but I've just... there just needs to be something that I'm missing. And the weird thing is, from all the comments that I'm seeing with regards to this fight,
Were you successful?
they're all saying the same thing about this boss fight being good, apparently. Oh yeah, the parry window really is the main sort of killer here.
You guys are the best.
What does that make me? Hmm?
Fashionably late. But hey, you tried.
We're out of time. I command you to save us.
Because yeah, it seems like you can just attack the cord, but it's not really working for me. And let's just do it again. And just work through it. We're nearly at the end now, so... I forgot to replenish rings. Hopefully, if I actually manage to get done with this, we won't have to replenish rings, though. Because, good golly, Miss Molly, this is just not... It really just feels as though I'm missing something. I mean, I guess at the very least I get this as a nice little break in between. For what that's worth. I get to think of how the other boss fights were a lot more fun than this, because that's the main thing, really. Would you rather the game be fun or difficult? I would pick fun basically every time, but that's just me. Alright, here we go again. Still think it would be better if he actually made better use of his gun. Maybe we'll actually get that once we proceed further into the fight. Yeah, it's not allowing me to hit his thing. Can I please just hit his... Can I please just hit his cord? Because right now all I can really aim for is his head, and that's not doing anything. I'm not going to bother side-looping him until I can actually ensure that that core thing of his is damaged. Can you please break? It also would help if you could actually see without the trees getting in the way. Like if this still took place in like the sky or something above Uranus, it would be better. I want to hit his core, but I want to hit the cord, but I can't. Yeah, that... You know what, I'm just gonna switch it down to easy if it's gonna be like this. Just... something, anything to give me a sign as to what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, you're supposed to dodge and then do it. Okay. Alright, let's see how much of a big boss man you are now, now that your toys are gone. Say goodnight. Unless there's like a third phase to it. Okay, there is like a third phase. Splendid. Break it! Break it! You're not getting back up again. I won't allow it. He's... He's down to 0 health, and yet he's still just, Oh, there we go. Alright, I guess there's just something else I failed to account for in this wild and crazy fight we have here. What else do you want me to do, game? Oh, there we go, just side-loop it. Oh, he's got his gun. Or does he have his... Are we gonna shoot him with his own gun? Technically, I guess. Oh wow, she actually... I guess this is her sacrificial play as opposed to just running into the end again. Oh, and they all come to help. That's cute. There's that superpower of teamwork again. Okay, I guess we just... Oh, the lyrics are kicking in again. Where am I? Game? I'm just sort of stuck here now. Oh, he's actually damaging the shield, and we have to stop him from damaging the shield. Okay. Come on, break the cord. He's charging up the super laser. Now this is the sort of thing I wanted to see, just all this cool stuff going on. I know it's Super Dragon Ball-y, but at the same time, what did you expect? Oh. I think that might be game over for me. So does that take away a whole bunch of my rings or just set me to a set amount? Oh. Is he going like even stronger or is it just him coming back at it? Okay, so I'm back down to that amount, okay. It's time I put you out of your misery once and for all. He just boots him straight into the moon. Oh. Oh, he's doing the JoJo thing. Alright. Oh, you're actually gonna shoot him out of the gun.
Sorry, Master King. Looks like I'm going all out after all.
It's like, this is silly, but at the same time, it's amazing. I don't want to say it absolutely makes up for everything we went through, but at the same time, I do generally love this sort of thing. Always go in sicko mode. Do we actually get to pull the trigger? Okay, I'm guessing not. Oh, he actually does the wild rush when he goes up. That's cool. And he goes straight through it again. Or does Sage have to sacrifice herself to shield Sonic again, or is the moon just gonna go boom again? Oh, and he's all busted up, look. I'm gonna have to listen to that theme again after a bit. Oh, and he's all busted up, look. So not exactly the heroic entrance from last time, but I guess it wouldn't be quite the same if his head wasn't buried halfway in the ground, would it? Oh, come on, he survived falls from space before, he's fine. Yep, and I'm guessing... Ah, and Sage survives this time around, even though she already survived in the original game.
You did well, Sage. It's time to head home, dear daughter.
Aw.
Home. I like the sound of that. Father.
And now she's just all blue. And then we just get a rendition of I'm With You at the end here. Okay, so mixed thoughts on that. It's like the spectacle portion of it, once again, on par with what I come to expect with regard to this game, and whilst I would like them to continue delivering a spectacle of this degree, it's gonna be difficult to see how they top it. But with regards to the actual gameplay itself, it's like, once you actually know what you're doing with the final boss, it seems to work fine. But there's just... I feel as... It really does feel as though they took a lot of the criticisms from the base game and just took them to the most opposite extreme possible. It just feels... Especially with that perfect parry. I mean, I like the idea of it, just being able to block more stuff and potentially apply debuffs to an opponent. That sounds cool. But it's just... It's like they went about it in the most obtuse way possible. That's generally how I feel. If I had to sum up this update in one word, it would be obtuse. It's like... The story, for what it was, I thought had some fun interactions, but... And then just thinking about the gameplay, just... I hope at least we do get an update to help alleviate some of the gameplay issues, like getting rid of potentially all the animation transitions between abilities, like Knuckles' glide in particular, just... What were they thinking with that? Just... Especially thinking back to like Adventure 2, Generations, Adventure 1, and Project 06, it just... It's just baffling, really. I was considering doing another stream just to sort out a lot of the 100% thing, but after that, I don't think I want to. I mean, I'll probably do it on my own time, but probably... I don't really want to dedicate a stream to the whole thing, especially considering how frustrating a lot of the platforming challenges seem to be. It's just, once again, just so obtuse. That's how I could mostly just describe this game. Just, it's frustrating, really, because I feel like with the last two updates, this game was really starting to come into its own. It's like this sort of template for how you could expand and improve upon Sonic games in the future, and then it just comes out with this sour note, and it's kind of disheartening. I went into Base Frontiers with the mindset of, you know, if Frontiers ends up to be a disappointment, I'm leaving the series entirely, as I pointed out in the last stream, but I want to say that with how Frontiers has evolved and how my thought process has evolved over time, I've come to realize that even if the next Sonic games coming out are bad, that's not really a reason to just abandon the series altogether. I might feel that way with how the fan base and the community acts sometimes, but there's nothing stopping me from just going back and enjoying the games that I do like. I'll just list them out right here. You know, Sonic Free, Sonic Mania, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, to a very small extent Shadow. You know, very small extent as in I hate a lot of that game, but there's a whole bunch of levels in it that I do like, you know, Gun Fortress, Lava Shelter, Casino Park. There was a casino level in there which I thought was alright. Final Horns was also a pretty good one. You know, Generations as well. And generally just a lot of the games that came out from 2001 to 2006, you know, like the Advanced Trilogy, Riders, especially Riders. I have a lot of fond memories of Riders. So I could just happily go back and enjoy those. And then, since I've sort of come to accept that since I have gotten older, I'm not really the target audience for this series anymore, and I haven't been for a very long time, so I'm happy to come along for the ride and enjoy the games when they're good. Like, I'm fairly confident in saying that it's very, very unlikely that Superstars is going to be bad. Like, mediocre at worst. But it does look like it's going to be quite the interesting experience, especially since I plan to stream that as well. So, even though this was a bit of a letdown, with that sort of small change in perspective of not really beholding myself and feeling as though generally just the sort of change in perspective, how I can just go less from what I consider a Sonic fan and more just sort of a more casual Sonic enjoyer, able to just enjoy what I like about the series without having to justify it all the time, like saying how having to make arguments about how Sonic Adventure 2 is the Citizen Kane of the Sonic. Never mind, it's got flaws and it's fine. It's fine that it's got flaws. What am I saying? I know it's had flaws, but it's okay to enjoy it in spite of those flaws, if you get what I mean. So I know that a lot of people are going to enjoy this expansion and the whole game at large in spite of its flaws, and that's okay with me. Like, I know there's a lot of people there who may enjoy games which in this series which I think are just frankly not great, like, you know, Shadow or, you know, Lost World or Forces. I know some people can find good things about those games and enjoy them, and that's fine. I'm okay with just letting people enjoy what they like, as long as they can understand at the very least the flaws within it and not claim it's this hidden masterpiece like I know so many people have done with 06. I can get a lot of enjoyment out of 06, mostly out of ironically. I can see the potential that was there, but that doesn't change the fact that 06 is 06 and is bad. I'm sorry I'm rambling about all this, it's just I wanted to get this off my chest, my whole perspective on this series so far. The short of it is, the expansion has a lot of problems. I hope they get fixed. I know there's a lot of people who enjoy it regardless, and I'm okay with that, and I'm generally okay with just if the series does take another bad turn like it did after Unleashed, which this whole game in particular just reminds me a lot of, with regards to how it's perceived as a sort of redemption arc after a particularly bad part of Sonic's history, whether it be the 1-2-3 knockout combo, which was Shadow, 06, and Secret Rings for Unleashed, or basically all of the 2010s for this game. And I'm just hoping that we don't end up repeating the same mistakes that led us to what happened in the 2010s, because it's like we went fine for a bit with Colors and Generations, then Lost World happened and everything went off kilter from there, and just I hope we get set on a better path this time is what I'm trying to get at. I still think this music slaps though. Love this whole track and just the whole mentality of it, even though it's kind of scuffed compared to the base game, where it's just the sort of promise is setting out to be to really set out to make the best games they can at this point, and I just hope that that promise they've set out to make with this game ultimately rings true, and we finally get this series to a place where a lot of people feel it should have been for the longest time. It might not be the Sonic which I really want it to be, which is sort of going off of more, you know, Adventure, Adventure 2, Heroes, Project 06 especially. Well, I may never actually get that. I'm okay with that. I've accepted it, and I'm willing to enjoy those games and see what this series has in store in spite of that. I've stuck around this long, haven't I? Through thick and thin, through, you know, the experimental 2000s era, and yeah, the experimental 2000s era, the 2010s, and now this. The series, aside from this, feels like in the best place it's been in ages, but I hope it does improve from here. I know the road will likely be rough, as we've seen with this, and I just hope that the destination is worth it in the end. Regardless, that was the final Horizon. I need a drink. Probably something harder than just water. I'll get back to normal streaming next week, you know. Still have Cassette Beast to finish up before potentially, you know, having to deal with superstars coming up from behind. But until then, I'll see you then. Take care. enjoy what you can of this game and don't let anyone else dissuade you, because I'm tired of justifying myself. Take care. Bye-bye.